Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear students, welcome to our online session. Today, inshallah, we'll be talking about transportation that happens in plants and in humans. In the last class, we saw about the adulterants which are commonly used in the foods, and also before that, we saw about the deficiency diseases that happen in humans due to mineral deficiency, due to vitamin deficiency. All these things we saw. Hope you all studied well. And inshallah, in this class, we'll see about the transportation. We have to know what is transportation. In our body, we take food, and the nutrition from the food has to be transported to the different parts of the body, whether it's brain, whether it's other muscles. So these food have to be taken to the other parts of the body. And also we inhale oxygen. This oxygen has to be taken to the different parts of the body as well. And in this transportation, after the process, the body wastes have to be removed from our body. And also there are other hormones which are secreted in our body, and these have to be taken to their target organs where they are necessary, and the blood has to be flowed in our body. And within this system, this is called as circulation, and the organs of circulation constitute a circulatory system, which means there is a circulatory system which is present in our body, and there are organs that are responsible for the circulation. Okay, so for the first thing we will see now is about transport of materials in plants. So in the plants, you have water, you have food material. The first one is going to be water. The plants will have roots, and the roots of the plants take up the water and minerals from the soil. Obviously the soil and the minerals, I mean the water and the minerals are present in the soil, and these are taken up from the roots uh, to the leaves for photosynthesis. We all know that the photosynthesis that happens in leaves, and we saw in lesson 21 about xylem and phloem. Xylem is a tissue that is responsible for water conduction in the plants, and phloem is a tissue which is responsible for taking up food, that is food conduction in the plants. So tracheids is a type of cell, okay, uh, of xylem, and it has vessels which uses to conduct the water to the plants. So the roots will have a root hairs, through that water and minerals will be picked up, and it will be transported to the leaves. So the upward movement of water and minerals from the soil is termed as ascent of sap. Okay, so the ascension of the water happens, and it is against the gravity. We all know that gravity acts in this direction, and the roots have water, and it takes up and it ascends up. So that's why it is called as ascent of sap, and this is called as transpiration pull. So what do you mean by transpiration pull? Transpiration is the process in which you have leaves, and in the leaves you have stomata. Okay, you have stomata in the leaves, and due to water evaporation, the water in the stomata gets evaporated, and it creates a vacuum. Vacuum means empty space. So because of this empty space, after the evaporation, it creates a pressure. Okay, so then the water is down present. Because of this pressure created here, due to the vacuum, the water is pulled up. I hope you understand. This is what is called as transpiration pull. Okay, so the leaves have stomata is a part. It is used to take up oxygen, okay, uh, take up carbon dioxide and release oxygen in plants. So in that stomata there will be water. I mean, the water vapor will be um, evaporated out through the stomata. So that creates a vacuum pressure and it absorbs the water upwards. I hope it's clear. So this is what is called as transpirational pull. And the next one is transport of food material. So the food is produced in the plant, that we know, but this food has to be transported to different parts of the plant. Like you have leaves and you have stems. So what is this process? We will see now. Sugar is a main molecule that acts as a food for plant, and these are synthesized in the leaves, okay, and they are transported to other parts. We all know that photosynthesis, it happens in the leaves. So after photosynthesis, we all know that photosynthesis is a process of food production for the plants. So then these food materials molecules have to be transported to the other parts of the plant through phloem. Phloem is a tissue uh, used for food conduction. It contains sieve tubes like a filter. Uh, Through that, food is conducted to the other parts of the plant, and this process is called as translocation. Okay, so the transport of food material from leaves to other parts of the plant is called translocation. This you have to remember. Then the food may be stored in fruits, stem or roots. So here they have given, you have the root hairs here. Through that, water and minerals will be taken up, and through ascension of sap, water will be taken to the upper part of the body, I mean plant body. Then you have, they have shown here the sieve tubes in phloem. Phloem is a tissue. Here you have the sieve. Sieve is like a filter. When it goes, and the necessary food molecules are only allowed and taken up. Okay, this is a sieve plate. So these are some phloem parenchyma cell. It's a type of cell present in the phloem. This you have to remember. Okay, and the next, inshallah, now we are going to see is the transportation in human beings. The human circulatory system, it consists of a centrally located muscular pump called heart. We all know that we have heart in between the lungs. So this is a centrally located muscular pump. Okay, it pumps the blood. That's why it's a muscular pump. It is called as heart. We all have, and there are in the human circulatory system. The next main organs are blood vessels. You have, it's a tube-like structure. Vessels means tube-like structure. It is connected to the heart. Okay, and these blood vessels of three kinds. You have to remember these are three kinds. The first one is arteries, and the second one is veins, and the third one is capillaries. So what is arteries? Simple. Arteries, they carry blood from heart to various parts of the body. You have the heart, it carries blood from the heart to the various part of the body. You have brain, you have other parts. So the blood is carried from heart to other parts of the body using arteries. And then you have veins. Blood from various parts of the body is taken to the heart. Okay, so this is the function of veins. And you have capillaries, it connects the artery and the vein. Okay, these are thin vessels, thin tubes which connects the artery and the vein. It allows the exchange of materials between blood and tissues. This is the function of capillaries. Hope so far so good. Okay, so I will explain you clearly. You have the lungs in which oxygen, we inhale the oxygen and it's processed in lungs, right? So what happens is that uh, the heart, it sends the blood, non-oxygenated blood, to the lungs, and then the blood is oxygenated. Okay, oxygen is added to it, and then it is pumped into the different parts of the body. This is the process. Okay, so here they have given arteries, veins and capillaries. You can see the arteries, uh, which carries blood from heart to various parts of the body. Okay, small lumen means the inner space of the tube. Okay, it has thick elastic wall, and when it comes to the veins, it has thin wall and it has large lumen. Okay, uh, then you have the capillaries, it has single cell wall. So the third main the human circulatory system consists of, the third part is going to be circulating fluid, that is those that are circulated. Okay, so you have blood, you have tissue fluid basically the fluids which are found among the tissues, inside the tissues. And you have lymph is nothing but it's like a white color fluid. It contains white blood cells, and these are used to kill the bacteria which are present in the blood. So now we will see in detail about heart. It's a powerful muscular organ lying between the lung, as I stated before. It has four chambers. It has four chambers. Okay, remember this. Heart has four chambers. Chambers means a room-like structure. Okay, chamber is usually a room-like structure. So the two chamber are called as atria. Okay, a singular of this term is atrium. So you have left atrium and you have right atrium. Okay, before it was used to call as auricles, it's another name for atria. So and you have two ventricles. Okay, you have ventricles here. They also right and left ventricles. This is a major part of a heart. Okay, I'll show you here. You can see this is the left ventricle, this is the right ventricle, and you have right atrium and left atrium. Okay, so I will explain you clearly. So the heart is made up of cardiac muscle fibers. Okay, which contract and relax without getting tired. You can touch the left side of your chest, you can feel the heartbeat. Okay, this is due to contraction, okay, and relaxation of the heart muscles, in which this is used to pump the blood to the other parts of the body. Okay, and this contraction and the relaxation. Contraction means the heart is like this, contracts and it relaxes. Okay, this is the process, contracts and relaxes, contracts and relaxes. This follows a rhythm. Okay, rhythm means regular pattern, and this is what is called as heartbeat. As you can touch your left side of your chest and you can feel the heartbeat. Okay, so the heart pumps blood into the blood vessels. So this rhythm helps in, this contraction relaxation helps in proper transport of substances into the various organs by means of blood. Through the blood, the various substances are transported to the different parts of the body. So in 1 minute, a normal human heart beats about 72 times. Okay, you can check a stopwatch and touch and you can count it. The average is 72, maybe 72, 73, 74. Okay, average human, it is 72 times. Okay, the abnormalities in the heart can be seen by taking ECG. It's called as electrocardiogram. It's a machine. If you have seen in some videos or in the hospital, the electrocardiogram will be there. It measures the heartbeat pattern. Okay, if it is normal or abnormal. This is how the electrocardiogram, the screen looks like. Okay, it shows the beat pattern. Okay, so here is the process they are explaining. The blood containing oxygen from the left ventricle gets pumped into a large artery called aorta. So you have the left ventricle, it contains blood with oxygen, okay, which comes from the lungs and which is pumped to the aorta. This is the aorta here. Okay, so it's a large artery in the heart. Okay, it carries oxygenated blood to all the parts of the body. Okay, here they have given the general plan of the human circulatory system. I'll show you here. So now you can see you have lungs here, you have other parts of the body. It's a general diagram. Don't think that it is the actual diagram. It is a systematic diagram to show how the blood circulation happens in our body. Okay, so you have the heart here, let's say, and you have right article, left article, you have you have right atrium, you have left atrium, you have right ventricle and left ventricle. So what happens is that in our lungs, what happens, we inhale and take up the oxygen and we exhale the carbon dioxide. So the oxygen is present here. Okay, so what happens is that the blood that is coming from other parts of the body, you can see from liver, from gut, rest of the body, everywhere, the blood comes here. Okay, and it goes to the right atrium. Okay, and it pushes the blood to the right ventricle. When you see atria and ventricle, the main difference is that atria is the chamber in which blood is received, and ventricle is a chamber, it pumps the blood out. Okay, so ventricle acts as a pump. Ventricle means it pumps the blood. You have to remember this. Okay, so here the blood is received in the right atrium, and it is sent to right ventricle. Since ventricle is a pump like thing, it contracts and pushes the blood, okay, through here. So in this it goes, and the lung, the blood is oxygenated. We know that in lungs oxygen is there, so the blood is oxygenated, and then through the pulmonary vein it goes to left atrium, and then from the left atrium the blood is sent to left ventricle. Now remember that the blood has oxygen in it, so the oxygenated blood has to be sent to the different parts of the body. So you can see the flow pattern here. It goes to the different parts of the body where the oxygenated blood is utilized, and then it is sent back to the right atrium. Okay, this is the process you have to remember. Okay, if you don't understand the pattern, I mean if it's difficult for you, play the video which I'm teaching now, so that you understand clearly how the circulation process happens here, which is given here. Okay, now we will see about blood pressure. So blood pressure is nothing but, in the arteries, the blood vessels, the blood, the force with the blood that pushes the walls. Okay, you have the blood vessels, and the force in which this blood pushes against the walls of the arteries. Okay, this the amount of force is what is called as blood pressure. Okay, and you have an instrument called as sphygmomanometer. It contains mercury. You know, if you don't know mercury, search internet, you will see mercury is a liquid metal which is used to measure the pressure. Okay, it will be present in this instrument. So the blood pressure is calculated. Okay, so when the ventricles contract, okay, when the ventricles contract, the ventricles present in the heart, when it contracts, the pressure of the blood inside the arteries tube is highest. Okay, so in a healthy human being, when a ventricle contracts, at that time the pressure is going to be 120 millimeters of mercury. Okay, 120 millimeter of Hg means the mercury. Okay, so that will be the normal human being. Okay, it's a unit. Millimeter of mercury is a unit to measure the pressure. Okay, in sphygmomanometer. And the ventricles, when they relax, the pressure of the blood inside the arteries is comparatively less. Okay, it is about 80 millimeters in the normal human being. Okay, so the normal blood pressure of a human being is 120 by 80, which is the pressure of the blood arteries when the ventricles contract, and when the ventricles relaxed is going to be 80 millimeter. Okay, and as I told, the instrument used is called as sphygmomanometer. That is about blood pressure. Now pulse rate. Pulse rate is nothing but uh, the contraction of the heart can be felt as a jerk in certain arteries, okay, like in the wrist. Because of the contraction of the heart, it can be felt in other arteries, like the arteries in the wrist. If you touch here, okay, you can feel the pulse, okay, in the wrist, and in the neck you can feel here, okay. Slowly you have to move with your finger and you will feel the pulse, okay. This is because of the contraction of the heart, okay, and this is called as arterial pulse, and this is same as the rate of the heartbeat. Why? Because as I told, this pulse, uh, arterial pulse, is due to the contraction of the heart, so that's why they are same, okay. So I hope you all understood. Inshallah, in the next class we will see about the circulatory medium in the next class. Please study well, take notes, and I know that online classes are not like the regular classes, so please watch 1 or 2 times, take notes, and if you have any doubts, please you can message me anytime. Inshallah, I will clarify your doubts, okay. Barakallah feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.